Robot and Zombie. The perplexing fiasco of Birch Hollow. In spring, it was an unseasonably warm day in Birch Hollow, Connecticut. The daffodils had just bloomed, painting the small town in shades of yellow as early spring sunlight bathed the quiet streets. It would have been a peaceful morning had Robot and Zombie not stormed into town, bringing their usual chaos in tow. Robot, the self-proclaimed leader of the duo, strutted down Main Street like he owned the place, his black obituary t-shirt draping over his small, metallic frame. A flannel hung from his waist, and his tiny metal hands gestured wildly as he yammered away. Behind him shuffled Zombie, a staggering 5'5", dragging his feet along the brick-lined road. Zombie, in his Slayer shirt and ripped jeans, was trying to stick Robot's head into his mouth, occasionally making low, groaning noises. "I told you, Z. Today's the day. We're taking over this town. They can't stop us," Robot declared, adjusting his black beanie. "This place is ours. And if they try to resist, well, you know how I handle resistance." He mimed some air karate moves, clearly impressed with himself. Zombie grunted, his mouth inching closer to Robot's head. "Ugh, quit trying to eat me. Focus," Robot shouted, slapping Zombie's hand away. "We're here to run Birch Hollow into the ground, not get me eaten alive." Again, as they walked toward the town square, Kathy, one of the local teenagers, crossed their path, eyeing Zombie with a strange mix of fascination and annoyance. She brushed her short, rebellious hair aside and smirked at Robot. "Well, look who's back," Kathy said dryly, her sharp wit cutting through the warm spring air. "Another one of your brilliant plans, Robot. What is it this time? Steal everyone's lawn chairs? Maybe flip a few bird baths?" Robot huffed. "Listen here, kid. You just don't get it. I'm all genius. I could run circles around this whole town and you wouldn't even... Oh, right, a genius. Of course." Kathy chuckled, glancing at Zombie. "You got your psychic hungry again, by the way." Robot barely had time to glare before Zombie made another lazy attempt to bite his head. Kathy rolled her eyes and started walking off, but not before throwing a glance back at Zombie. "Hey, Z, catch you later," she teased, as Robot swatted away Zombie's hand again. "Yeah, get lost," Robot shouted after her. "We've got business to do. Big plans. No time for chit-chat with amateurs." As Kathy disappeared down a side street, Robot and Zombie wandered into the town square, where the usual crew of townspeople milled about. Birch Hollow was as picturesque as ever, with its colonial architecture, ivy-covered brick buildings, and the smell of freshly brewed coffee wafting from the Hollow Bean Cafe. And of course, Robot couldn't stand it. "Disgusting," he muttered. "Who needs this? This. Quaintness. We need to shake things up. Z. We need..." Just then, a group of teenagers, led by Vanessa and Cindy, walked out of the cafe. Cindy spotted Robot immediately, her face twisted with disdain. "Oh no, not you again. Why don't you just leave this town alone for once?" Cindy snapped, adjusting her sunglasses with a huff. "We don't need your creative genius here. Birch Hollow is too beautiful for whatever you're planning." "Oh, please," Robot groaned. "Like this town is anything special. You're all just a bunch of stuck-up snobs with your Ivy League aspirations and designer loafers. You don't get it. I'm a visionary and you..." Robot leaned in dramatically, lowering his voice. "You're all just obstacles." Vanessa, with her arms crossed, gave Robot a look that was equal parts amusement and irritation. "And what exactly is your big vision this time, oh great Robot?" "I'm glad you asked," Robot said, puffing out his chest. "Today we're going to make this place exciting." He threw his arms wide, as if expecting applause. "First, we start with a little destruction. Maybe knock over the gazebo, set off a few fire alarms, and then total chaos." Vanessa raised an eyebrow. "Yeah, because that's exactly what this town needs. Total chaos." Cindy sighed, grabbing Vanessa's arm and pulling her away. Come on, Van. He's not worth it. Let's go before he decides to start one of his brilliant plans. Zombie, distracted by the girls' departure, began shuffling in their direction, his mouth opening and closing as if he were calculating the right moment to pounce. Z, get back here, Robot yelled, stomping after him. Forget about them. Focus on the mission. We're gonna wait. Hold up. Hold up. He stopped dead in his tracks, staring at the town's fountain in the center of the square. A group of elderly residents sat around it, sipping iced teas and enjoying the spring day. To Robot, it was the perfect opportunity for mischief. Okay, Z, here's the plan. We cause a distraction. You go after the fountain, maybe bite someone's arm, gently, of course, and I'll grab one of their wallets. We're gonna need money for snacks later. Trust me. Zombie stared blankly, still trying to bite Robot's head. Ugh, fine. I'll do the thinking as usual. Just follow my lead. Robot bounded toward the fountain, making a beeline for the nearest elderly man. But before he could execute his brilliant plan, a voice called out. Well, if it isn't the town's least favorite metalhead robot. It was Ben Corbin, the town's spoiled brat. He stood there, wearing a perfectly pressed polo shirt and khakis, arms crossed, looking down at Robot with a smug grin. Robot sneered. Oh, look, it's Ben. What do you want, Preppy? Shouldn't you be polishing your golf clubs or something? Just making sure you don't ruin another beautiful day in Birch Hollow, Ben said, his voice dripping with arrogance. And besides, someone's got to make sure the town's undesirables don't mess things up. Uffed. Please. Robot scoffed. I do what I want, when I want, and nobody, especially not some rich brat, is going to tell me otherwise. Ben stepped closer. Is that so? Well, last I checked, this isn't your town, Tin Can, and we all know how your plans usually turn out. Robot's face twisted with fury. Oh, you have no idea who you're messing with. At that moment, Zombie lurched forward, letting out a low groan, and in one swift motion, he stumbled directly into the fountain, splashing water everywhere. Chaos erupted as the elderly residents jumped up in horror, iced tea spilling, hats flying, and the peaceful spring afternoon turning into an absolute mess. Robot stood there, drenched, his plan completely in shambles. He glared at Zombie, who was now sitting in the fountain, oblivious to the chaos he had caused. This is your fault, Z. Robot shouted, shaking a fist. Zombie only groaned, lazily trying to bite at the air. Ben Corbin stood back, smirking as he watched Robot's defeat unfold. Looks like another brilliant plan down the drain, Ben said, laughing. Better luck next time, Robot. As the sun dipped behind the horizon and the town's chaos slowly settled, Robot muttered under his breath, glaring at the retreating townspeople. Just you wait, Birch Hollow. This isn't over.